Sorry. So we are left with these two units, na? Web service
Mm.
and search engine and web content. And as I told you that I do not expect many questions from these two units. And
Units.
these are advanced topics, and I have just looked into it, and they
Mm.
did not give anything in much detail. And surely, as per my expectation, they are not going to give any descriptive questions from these two units. Okay, so
Mm.
you will expect a few mm,
MCQs.
MCQs from here and nothing more.
Mm.
So you do not have to worry much about these two units. But these two units are going to be very much
Mm.
important if you want to become an web developer, okay,
Okay.
in current industry. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to do some projects in web development, okay, so
Okay.
these two units are going to be very much important for you. So with respect to your work, or with respect to
Mm.
job, with respect to project, these two units are very much important.
Important.
But for just a minute, Shashiji.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so in these two subject, basically there are three things in these two units. Okay.
Mm.
So first one is your web service, and second is search engine, search engine, and the third one is CMS, content management system. Now, what are these things? Okay. Uh, First, I'm just giving you a brief idea. And
Mm.
for MCQs, you have to go with the SLM, and
Mm.
because you do not have any other things in your hand currently.
Mm.
These things are so distributed, so you cannot find the total thing into any single document. Okay, so
Mm.
you should go with the SLM and PPTs. I think uh, the questions will be set from the SLM and PPTs, although it is not very much sure. We cannot be very much sure about that thing, that questions will be always,
Whether they'll be taking from which part.
yeah. But if questions are set on this topic from internet, okay,
Mm.
then these topics are so vast in nature, and there are so many things in them, so it will be very much hard to get the answer, to answer the thing, to understand the thing.
Mm.
Anyway, what web service is basically, I will tell you. Okay.
Mm.
And what is search engine? You should have an idea about search engine. What is search engine? And
Mm.
this is your content management system. Okay. First, let me start with this web service part. Okay. I'm
Okay.
very much related with web service. I have to develop web service, and I have to deal with web services. But as I go with this topic here, web service, so strangely they are using Java as a language for the demonstration purpose of the web service. It is same just like in Ajax. Okay, the faculty was
Mm.
describing with uh, Java. Although we have PHP, we have learned PHP in this subject. Okay,
Mm.
but he was using Java in Ajax. The similar thing is here also, web service. Rather taking the examples with PHP, they have copied it from Java language from some document. Okay. Anyway, so we would like to demonstrate the thing in PHP if we demonstrate it. Okay. Now, what is basically a web services? It is from the name itself, you can identify that it is a service, na, which is available in web
Hmm.
service, available in web or internet.
Web.
Okay. Suppose there is an application. Okay, A1 existing application. Okay, and now you are creating one more application, say B1. Okay, this application needs some data. Okay.
थोड़ा सा लैग हो रहा है सॉरी
Okay.
थोड़ा सा लैग हो रहा है शायद मेरे को
Okay, so what I was telling, suppose there is an application. Okay, there is an application
हम्म
somewhere in the world. Okay, now you are creating another application, say B1. Okay, and you need some data from this application. Okay, your application, the application that you are developing, is basically doing some processing on the data that you are getting from another application. Okay, so there is a need to transfer data from one application. You should remember that these are not pages, this is application, different application. Hello. Hello.
अरे जी 2 मिनट्स मैं लीव करके ज्वाइन करती हूँ थोड़ा बहुत डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है मेरे को सुना ही नहीं दे रहा है
So what I am saying that you have an application
हम्म
existing, and you are trying to create another application which needs some data from that application. So there are two
हम्म
applications, okay, that need to
हम्म
communicate between themselves by passing some messages, by
मैसेजेस
passing some data between
हम्म
them. And you have to remember
हम्म
that a similar concept we have done in PHP, that when one page is trying to communicate with the server by
फिर
sending the data. Okay,
हम्म
we have learned it
यस
in your form section, that using form you are sending the data to. It is not kind of that thing, because that was
ओके
done inside one application. Inside one application there
हम्म
are two pages, one is your client
हम्म
and another is your server page. So client page is trying to communicate with the server page by sending data. Now here
करेक्ट
these two are completely different applications. Okay,
एप्लीकेशन
so two different applications are trying to communicate between themselves. Okay, then what
हम्म
will be the process?
हम्म
So see here, I say maybe, say this is your, this application is YouTube. Okay, YouTube.
हम्म
So YouTube is an application. Okay. Now you want to create an application for yourself, that suppose you have
हम्म
multiple channels over YouTube. Okay. Now you
हम्म
want to get the content of those or the analytics of those channels into this
हम्म
of your application. Okay,
हम्म
so you have to tell the YouTube, okay, that YouTube please give
हम्म
me those informations for my
हम्म
channels. Okay,
हम्म
the informations that you are demanding, you have to inform to the YouTube, you have to request YouTube that YouTube give me
हम्म
that information. Okay,
so and so information
so and so
हम्म
information. So what YouTube will do, YouTube will collect all those data from their own server. YouTube also have their server, maybe database server or something.
हम्म
Depends on the data that you are demanding. So it will
हम्म
process your request and it will send the data in some format. Okay, that
mm,
format may be in XML, that format may
mm.
be
Or
in
JSON.
JSON. Okay, so currently XML or JSON. Currently, JSON is preferred way of communication. Okay, so this
Mm,
application will send all those data in this
mm,
format and send back to you. Okay, so what you are going
mm,
to have, you are going to have a big data set, maybe in XML or JSON format. So what
mm,
you have to do, you have to extract the data from that format. Okay,
mm,
so you have to extract the data and you have to utilize those
mm.
data in your application as per your need, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the general thing, okay, for data
Mm,
communication. Okay, now you first to get the data, you first have to request to the YouTube. Now you have to
yes.
request to the YouTube. Now in which form you will put the request? Okay, it's not like that you entered a form in YouTube website. Okay, you have to visit YouTube
Mm,
website and you have to fill up a form requesting data and you are downloading the JSON data. It's not like that. It is the
mm,
communication between two applications that should be take place
mm,
automatically. Okay,
mm.
এটাকে একটু চার্জে বসিয়ে দিয়ে যেত, ওইটা ওইটা ওটার মধ্যে আছে ঢুকি। Okay, so when you communicate, when this application is requesting
Mm.
to YouTube, YouTube is doing processing your request and
Collecting the data for
collecting the
from
data
his.
and set it in JSON format or XML format and
Format
send it
and
back to you. Okay.
mm,
Now, what do you mean by requesting to YouTube? Okay. What do you mean by
mm,
the processing of YouTube? Basically,
mm,
there will be a program. Na?
correct.
There will be a program. Okay.
Mm,
That program need to be invoked by this call. Okay. So you
mm,
can take that this is a function call, just like function call or method call. Okay.
mm,
I am writing function call because that will be more convenient for you to understand. So just like you
mm,
are calling a function from here, that function
mm,
resides here. Okay. And
mm,
that function taking some parameters from you.
mm,
That function is taking some parameters from you. Okay, you are passing some parameters into it. And depending on
mm.
the parameter, this program is going to search the data and create the
And fetch
JSON
the
or
data.
XML file or
Mm,
data, format data, JSON formatted data, and send back to you.
mm,
Okay.
mm,
So the function call that you are
mm.
using, given by whom? Tell me. Will it be said by you or will it be said by YouTube?
It will be set by us only with based on the some
No, 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 no.
format of YouTube.
No. What I am trying to say you that say this is the function call, okay, right?
Mm,
But this function call must be designed by this application. Na? This function call must be defined by this application because this
correct.
application is going to declare that if you want that kind of data, you have to call
Then
this
only
function.
I call this function. Correct.
Okay, this application may have different functions like that. Okay,
Mm,
so if you want this kind of data, then you are calling this function. If you want this kind of data, then you have to call this function. If you have this kind of data, then you have to call these functions in that way, right?
right.
So that functions, okay, will be defined by
Mm,
this application only. Okay,
mm,
and after defining these programs or functions, this application should declare that we I have
mm,
this much of functions, and if you want this data, data 1, you have to
Mm.
call function 1. If you want data 2, then you have to call function 2, something like that. Okay.
Yes. Mm.
Now, what I am saying by this function call, actually, we do not say that this is a function call. This is basically called a web service. Okay, as simple as that.
Okay, web service.
Okay,
Okay.
so web service means what? YouTube has designed some programs. Okay, so when this program is invoked, it will generate some data, and this data will be sent back to the caller. You got it?
Mm.
So the way you have to call that particular function or the functionality, okay, you have to invoke that functionality
Mm.
is termed as web service, web services. And these web services,
Okay.
since this is a web portal and a
Mm.
website, that should be look like this: HTTPS. It's just like an URL. Okay,
Mm.
say youtube.com slash
Flash.
maybe some say say channel, channels, say some IDs will be there. Okay, maybe some
Mm.
data, just like that. Okay, so this is the thing that I am calling as a function call. Okay, now when you
Mm.
apply this thing in your application, okay, so what you are actually doing, you are actually
Requesting
initializing
for.
this call. This is a call. Okay, you're actually initializing this call, and this will hit some program here. Okay,
Mm.
now which program? This is the program, the last part. Okay,
Mm.
we often call is at as endpoint. Endpoint means the program name,
Mhm.
the function name. Okay, and the function name will not appear alone, it should appear with this URL. That means this is basically just like a path, okay, where this function actually
Mhm.
resides. Okay, so this
Mhm.
is the way how you have to apply a web service, apply an web service. And when this is invoked, it will generate, it will process and generate this data, and it will send back to you. Okay, now let me show you something. I hope I can get it. So YouTube uh, web services, or you can say YouTube API. See, these are some API. API means nothing. You can term this as an API also. API means application program
It's
interface.
a program
Okay.
interface.
So by using API, two or more applications interacting with each other. Okay.
Mm.
So that is the fundamental concept of API. Okay.
Mm.
And what is web service then? Web service is basically this program, okay, that you are um, interacting, that is actually producing the data. Okay, how to call this
Mm.
web service? You can call this web service by using API. Okay, this
Mm.
URL can be called as
Okay.
API, right? So these are different
Mm.
APIs for YouTube. Okay, say if I get a sample or reference here, then you can API reference, calling API. See, this is one API.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
and activity resource type, this is v3, and these are the parameters I told you you have to set with the API so that you will get the data. Okay,
Mhm.
see, comment thread means maybe whatever comments you are having in your against your videos, you can get a list of
Mm.
all those comments.
Those.
Okay, by calling the respective API.
Yes, I have
Anyway,
seen in
so
many
huh,
calling portals. I have seen calling that cloud telephone systems will be there, no? So
crawling.
they will telephone cloud telephone system.
What is crawling?
No, calling that telecalling services will be there, na?
Telecalling services. In which
In the
respect?
cloud telephony, it is in any health sector or for so many things will take this telephone numbers, toll free numbers, na?
Basically, web service means what? You are getting a service from some other application into your own application.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So,
So
what
that
is
I have
that kind
seen
of
in
service? You can get
my company.
usually what we want. We want some data. Okay. Say from
Mm,
YouTube, you want data. Say from some news
mm,
agencies. Okay. Some suppose
mm,
you may see that some NDTV is showing a news, and they have mentioned that the news is coming from some other source. Okay,
mm,
in their web application, if they want to integrate that thing, then the respective
mm,
the source news channel will send the data. Obviously they will have some agreement between them. Okay, they will send the news data,
mm,
okay, to the NDTV channel. Okay, just like that. Okay, so web service is basically you
mm,
are getting some
mm,
information from some other application, and that's
mm,
all. Okay, so to get the web service you need to call a URL, and that URL is termed as API, application program interface, API. You can term this as API also.
yes, that's
What
what
is API?
in our
API is
previous
basically a URL that is used,
URL.
that two or more applications are interacting with each other. Okay, that URL
Mm,
can be termed as API. Okay, against an API, against an web service, you are going to get, usually you are going to get some data. Okay.
yes, I have seen this in our company na, where previously.
Hmm.
So they were collecting all this uh, toll-free number details, whatever they were having the communication rights.
Hmm.
So those calling details, everything, the dynamically it was posting onto our CRM.
Hmm. Right.
I got it now, correct what it was.
And for web services, one more example I would like to give you. Suppose you have a mobile application. Okay. Now,
Mm,
suppose Amazon. Okay.
mm,
Amazon. Okay. So Amazon has their website also, right?
mm,
Amazon website. Now,
mm.
whatever
And
you
services.
see here,
Mm,
the same items and same thing you will also see here. Okay. Now, how
mm,
Amazon is doing these things? Means, are they
mm,
made a different application, different data set specifically? Obviously applications, this is mobile application, this will be an web application. Okay, they are
Mm,
writing this thing in Java or PHP, they are writing this thing in Android or some in other technology, right?
mm,
So the application will be different, but do they maintain different data set for mobile application and for web application? No.
no, same.
So they maintain the same data set. Okay, the data is
Mm,
same for Amazon. This is Amazon data.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
and there are a set of programs
mm,
resides in Amazon server. Okay,
mm,
so there are some set of programs. This set of programs. Okay, these are all programs written in either Java or in PHP. Means all are programs that can capable of fetching or sending data from database, right?
mm,
Say these are all different services. Like suppose this service is for, say I'm, this will be more, this will be a good example if you think in
mm,
that way. So how these
mm,
applications have been built? Say suppose one, I'm writing that thing. Say for one,
mm,
suppose list of all products for a particular category. हो सकता है?
mm,
You can have that thing.
mm,
So they have
mm,
written a program, this one, to
mm,
get the list of all products for a particular category. Right.
mm,
Now here, if you think that this is a function, then what will be the parameter? Parameter will be a category, na? So
mm.
if you pass the category, then it will give you the list of all
That's
products
all.
under that category. Now,
Mm,
think what other services they may create. Say the list of all reviews for a
mm,
particular product, right?
mm,
All list of all reviews. Say
mm.
here, what can be the parameter? That product ID, right?
Reviews.
Got it. In the same way,
Mm,
they may have some other services too, and
mm.
not they may, they definitely did the thing in
They
this way.
have it.
Okay, so when they are building their total application, means the total business, okay, they
Mm,
actually put the data in a single source. Okay, means
mm,
a repository, uh, common
mm,
repository for every of application,
mm.
and they are developing this layer.
Fetching the details.
Okay,
Mm,
in this layer they have multiple services. These are all services.
mm,
Okay, this is basically the web services, right?
mm,
These are called the web service layer, web services. Even we do in the same way for our applications and
mm,
everything. Okay, I will show you.
mm,
Okay, although I cannot show it in the video, but I will show you later. Okay, how
mm.
we also develop the single data source, this web service layer in
Layer and
application we are getting. Okay,
mhm,
so in my last project, I saw it to you that news channel.
mm.
Okay, so
Yes,
they have their application, mobile application, and they have at the same time they have their web application.
system.
So the same thing.
Mm,
This is the common approach. So
mm,
this is the web service layer. So they have created numerous, different types of web
services.
services or functions they have created. Okay,
Mm,
and for every function, since you have a, you should have a definition that okay, if you
mm,
need a list of all products for a particular category, then you have to pass the category,
If
and also you
category.
need to have something called API. Na? How
Mm.
the how the other application will invoke this service? So they have to
Through API.
give some API. They have to give some URL. So maybe
Mm.
they are saying that HTTPS Amazon.in slash PROD slash ID and slash say ID number something. Okay. So they have mentioned that you have to specify your ID here. Okay. You got it?
Mm. Yes, I got it.
Okay. So when user clicks on a particular category, okay.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, this will be category cat ID.
Mm.
Let me
Mm.
correct it. HTTPS colon Amazon.in slash cat slash say something like that. Okay. So when user click on a particular category, then
Mm.
suppose user is using mobile. Okay. When he
Mm.
or she is actually clicking on that particular category, this kind of URL is been generated and it will directly hit this thing. Na?
Ah.
See here the connection has been established, and this program, what actually this program is doing is this program is actually fetching the data from the database and making a JSON, okay,
Mm.
JSON object,
And
and it is
passing on
sending
to.
back to this. So now
Oh.
tell me, if if some other user click on the same product category, will
Mm.
Amazon do the thing in different way? No,
No,
because
they will send
they
the
have
same thing.
designed the architecture in that way that this can be used by any application. Okay,
Mm.
so this is the advantage, or this is the technique, or this is the thing where web service is basically called. Now see here,
Mm.
suppose uh, suppose you want to develop an application. Okay, you want to
Mm.
develop an application and you want some
Mm.
service, some data from this Amazon too.
Mm.
You should
Mm.
know that you can register in Amazon as a seller also, na?
Ah.
So how to upload your data, how to manage your data, how to get reviews of your data. Okay, you can create your own
Mm.
application for that. Obviously you can log into Amazon portal as a seller
Mm.
account, but you can also create your own
Mm.
application and ask Amazon to get the data for your service only, for your purpose only. So
Mm.
among these web services, some web services are there, Amazon created in that way, that can be accessed by some third party. So this is third party. These are all Amazon.
Mm.
This is a mobile application for Amazon. This is web application for Amazon. Okay.
Mm.
So some web services will be there. Those web services can be requested by third party. Now
Okay.
you can ask me that what happen if the third party wants to use this web service. So for that
Mm.
purpose, each and every web services will be identified by this application. Okay, that from where
Mm.
this application, this request has been generated. Okay, they have some
Mm.
authentication, they have some keys. Okay, so web service in that way get protected by the developers. Okay, so you get the idea of web
Mm.
services, na?
Yes, yes, I got it.
Okay, so we are forwarding in the next topic, and if we have time, or uh, in some other day, I will show you how to create a web service. Obviously I will do it in PHP, since we have learned PHP.
Okay. Mm.
Okay, the next topic was what? Search engine.
Search engine.
Now, what is search engine? Where you have heard this term?
Google.
Google.
Chrome. Mm.
Search engine. Search engine is basically, you can say, a program.
Mm.
Okay, that program will search uh, particular keyword or phrase throughout the
Mm.
internet. Wherever it found,
Mm.
it will
It
display
lists the
the
results.
address of that particular web page
Website.
or website. Okay. Now here
Mm.
one important, basically, there are many things, but still I would like to mention one term, that is your ACO, search engine optimization. But before that,
Mm-hmm.
something is called web crawling. Now you understand what is called
Mm.
crawling.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. See, internet. Okay, what is
Mm.
basically internet? Internet is,
Network of.
huh?
Mm.
Internet
Sorry.
is
Continue.
nothing, just a connected computers. Na?
Yes.
Millions of computers are connected with each other, and that is internet all about, right? In
Mm.
different format and pattern, this internet is basically a communication, something like that. So if you are going to define internet, what is internet? Internet is nothing but a very very large scale of communication of computers. Okay, the computers which are,
Communication between different networks also, we can
yeah,
say,
the
or network of
computers
network.
which are not connected to internet uh, is not capable of sending or receiving any sorts of
Information.
data. Anyway, so
Mm.
at any instance, internet is basically a, a set of computers, a bunch of computers which are connected between themselves
With
in
each
any
other.
format, right?
Mm.
So what is
Mm.
web crawling means? This is a specific type of program. Okay,
Mm.
so you want to search a item, particular item,
Mm.
a single piece of uh,
Information.
information you have to provide. Okay, and that is called
Mm.
keyword. Okay,
Mm.
so what you want to search, that you have to express through a particular phrase. Okay, that
Mm.
phrase can be divided into single words, that can be termed as keywords. Okay, so this
Yes.
program will carry those keywords and
Mm.
move to every computer. Okay, and which type of computer?
Mm.
Not every computer. Say if these are the
Connected computer.
computers in the internet, so few
Mm.
of them will be server, na?
Mm.
Where the websites are hosted, right?
Mm.
So it need to first identify who are the servers in this network. So these are the servers.
Mm.
So if it is a server, so obviously it will find some websites or web pages here. So it will search the content of entire website.
Mm.
Okay, if the server contains multiple websites, if it is hosting multiple
Mm.
websites, so it will search
Mm.
every pages of every website, and it will
Mhm.
fetch the address means the URL of all those web pages where the keywords are found. It will make an
Mm.
index of that. Okay, so in that way all the
Mm.
servers will be searched for that keywords. Okay, and it will make a list of all those indexed addresses, and it will display those things,
Mm.
display, or it will do the
Mm.
next process on that particular list. So that is basically web crawling. Okay, It is basically
Mm-hmm.
a program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, although there are many things behind search engine, but the next term is SEO. Why I am telling you this thing? Because this is a completely, this is a kind of profession, SEO.
Mm-hmm.
This is a career, SEO. Okay, means
Okay.
you are working as an SEO engineer, search engine
Mm.
optimization. You are doing that kind
Okay.
of job. Means, suppose I have
Mm-hmm.
created a website, okay, and that
Mm.
website deals with some product selling. Okay, means I
Okay.
create some product and I am not interested to put my products in Amazon, so I have a separate site.
Mm.
But uh, when my business will do well, when users will
Mm.
visit that website more often, right?
Mm.
But how user visit that website? Means they have to know the name of that website or the URL of that website, na?
Mm.
So for that purpose, normally what we do, we go to any search engine like Google or Bing or
Mm-hmm.
ask anyone. There we
Mm.
just type few words. Okay, we do not
Mm.
know which website is a basically give me the match. Okay, so
Mm.
when that particular products have been searched by user, my website
Mm.
gives the best deal. But unfortunately, my website does not appear on the first page of searching. It is appearing
Mm.
maybe in the 10th page of searching. So normally,
Mm.
it has been seen that user do not move uh,
To the next
after
page.
second page. After second page, there is no value of having that website, right?
Mm.
So search engine optimization is the technique through which you can do something with your website which will
Mm.
force the search engines like Google or Bing
Mm.
to
Mm.
display the name of my website in the first page or in the first
Mm.
page first link, first page second link, or maybe second page first link,
Mm.
something like that. Okay,
Mm.
so when you are searching in Google, the pages
Mm.
that has been displayed on the first page
Mm.
are the result of search engine optimization technique on those particular
Mm.
websites. Okay,
Mhm.
so this is a very specialized kind of job. You have to do lots
Mhm.
of things to bring a page on the first page of Google or some search engine. Okay,
Mhm.
but this is a continuous process also. That means once you bring a website in the first page of
Mm.
Google, it is not guaranteed
Mm.
that that will remain over there for many
Okay,
days.
forever. Mhm.
Maybe next day morning you will see that your
Somebody
page
else
goes
would have
the
done.
third. Yeah, the other
If
parties are doing the same
uh,
thing, and their optimization makes put a great
their
effect over
website,
you.
their client web pages to be listed
That's
first.
why search engine optimization is a
Mm.
continual process. Okay, so you have to
Mm.
do continuous thing. That's why this is a career. Okay, so the
Mm.
companies whose business basically deals with online,
Mm.
so they must do search engine optimization in a continuous process, as a continuous process, right?
Yeah, I have seen this for our sister concern company.
Hmm.
They had newly launched their services and they wanted to make their company name to be as a search one, and for this they had outsourced. I remember all these services now. I was not much knowing about it.
My company also do this job, SEO job. Okay,
Okay.
so in December we got a project from Australia-based company. So
Uh-huh.
basically, the founder is from Kolkata. Okay,
ओके
so we had
ये
a
आप लोग बहुत एंटरप्रेनर हो, बहुत सारे एंटरप्रेनर है कोलकाता से.
हाँ जी, हाँ हाँ, वो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में गए हैं तो वो वहाँ पे उन लोगों का ना मतलब
हाँ,
इस तरह का फैसिलिटीज नहीं है, मतलब द मनी दे हैव टू पेड इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया to do the
is
job
in
from Australia, okay,
is much
is
higher,
very,
much
very
higher.
high, higher than Kolkata. Okay, so that's
Uh,
why they contact us, and we are doing the SEO since from December
okay,
21, not 22. Okay, so
okay,
December
almost 2 years.
21, so it is almost, although I am not a part of that SEO team that has been managed by my brothers actually. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so SEO is a career, different career,
Career.
completely different
Mm-hmm.
career. That's why I am telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that is all about search engine, and you just read those few contents. Okay,
Mm.
they have given over there.
Mm.
That's all.
Last topic was something.
CMS,
Mm.
content management system.
Mm-hmm.
For SEO, you have to write blogs, you have to write some contents. Okay, I have seen that
Mm-hmm.
people from good English background. Okay,
That also यही पे है,
yeah,
यही से है,
in SEO
कोलकाता
there
से.
are two kinds of job:
So
technical and
many.
non-technical. Okay, so technical parts are very limited. Not very much you can do
Mm.
in technical aspect. But non-technical part means Google has some criteria, or every search engine has some criteria. They put a rank for all the websites and web pages, and on the basis of
Mm.
ranking, they bring the pages in the front page or in the second page. Okay, and one more
Mm.
criteria is that they have some paid services. Okay, so the
Mm-hmm.
big budget client always use some mm, payment to Google to bring
Mm-hmm.
their,
Yeah, there also
yes,
this is there.
some
Mm.
sponsored होते हैं ना, sponsored आते
Ah.
हैं. Anyway, so next is your CMS, content management
Mm.
system. Now what is content management system? Is basically a very simple thing. Okay, suppose website will display several contents na?
Mm.
So images, text and data, everything is there. So these
Mm.
contents are managed
Mm-hmm.
by a
Mm.
different website. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
these contents, suppose there are some list. Okay,
Mm.
then that list, you can put data on that list from this application. Okay, so
Okay.
this is an application, this is a different application, and from this application you are going to manage the data, manage the content of that thing.
Mm.
They belong to the same domain. Okay, belong to
Mm-hmm.
the same domain. So this is basically sorry, you can termed as
Mm-hmm.
admin section, from where you are actually managing the content of this. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this content management system can be designed by the developers from scratch. Okay,
Mm.
that means you have to design two different websites.
Websites.
One website will be viewed by the by your viewers. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
one website will be viewed by your admin, by your own office personnel, who are
Mm.
going to manage these data, like that.
Mm.
Okay, say in a
Mm.
school system. Okay, so
Mm.
parents and students are all seeing their marks and progress on the school website, right?
Mm.
Students can log into their own account
ID.
and get the
Mm.
mark sheet and download their admit cards and
Mm.
etc etc, right? But
Mm.
there is somebody who are actually doing all these things. They are actually uploading
Yes,
the
yes,
documents,
obviously.
statements. So those are called admins. Okay, but
Mm.
where this admins is actually doing, from where the admin is actually updating all those data, so that is also a separate
Mm.
website.
Mm.
Okay, so the total system can be termed as content management system. This thing can be designed from scratch. Okay, by using
Okay.
any language, PHP, Java, ASP, .NET.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some ready-made
Mm.
CMS in market. Okay,
Yes.
for
In health sectors, same thing like CRM, it is there, right?
yeah, CRM, customer relationship management, CRM.
Management.
Okay,
Uh,
we developed 2 3 CRMs
uh,
way before, 10 12 years before that time.
mhm.
So CRM is actually
हमारे ऑफिस
customer
में ये
relationship
बन रहे थे.
management. Okay, so
our
huh.
um, ये हमारा ऑफिस में बन रहा था. Like I have used this, which is developed in our office level,
Mm-hmm.
and I have used the other application similar way, which is developed by other communication. This thing like Nolarity, cloud telephony systems, where
CRM
I was.
basically एक application है. This is basically an
Mm,
application which is related to customer interaction. Okay,
customer interaction,
customer
easily.
interaction, follow-ups, and etc. So that is basically a
Same thing, they had made it for patient PRM. They had little bit customized in our this thing,
hmm,
and they made it as PRM,
hmm,
patient relationship management system करके, and we were maintaining the details of the patient with us.
hmm.
Okay.
So some companies were there who build their own CRM scratch, and some
Uh,
companies are there. Some CRMs were
they
there
will
already available CRM means
mm,
you have to just
on a
customize the CRM for your company. Okay.
yes, and they'll maintain everything, and they'll give it on rental basis. We have to pay them on rental basis,
Mm-hmm.
or when we are taking as a package, something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, I got it.
The CMS is basically using the
Mm.
CMS you can develop your own application.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so some ready-made systems, ready-made CMS are there in market.
Mm.
So just what you have to do, you have to install the CMS in your server,
Mm.
and you have to customize the CMS. In that way, your
According to
application
the
will be developed. So these are
mm.
called content management system. I told you that content management system, when you build a
Mm.
website in this pattern,
Mm.
that is a content
Mm.
management system. Okay, but
Mm.
usually what people refer to content management system is ready-made content management system, which are
Mm.
available in market.
In the market already. Mm.
uh, in PHP, some of the
Mm.
most popular CMSs are, in fact, the
Mm.
most popular CMS, irrespective of any language, that is
Mm.
WordPress.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in PHP, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about PHP only because we have
Mm-hmm.
PHP. Okay, in other language like in Java, okay, in
Mm.
.NET you also have some CMSs,
Mm.
but in PHP, WordPress, Magento,
Mm-hmm.
Drupal,
Magento and WordPress I had heard, but I was not
Joomla,
exactly knowing it is CMS.
these are all CMSs. Okay, there are many. Okay, and one more thing
Okay.
you should know, there is something called framework.
Mm.
In PHP, there are some popular framework, that is Codeignator, okay,
Mm.
Smarty, and Cake.
Coordinator I have seen little bit.
Codeignator तो मैंने ही आपको दिखाया. I used to develop projects in PHP using Codeignator. Okay.
Mm.
So in Codeignator, there is something called Laravel, the most advanced,
Mm.
and Codeignator version 4. So maybe I will show you on web service demonstration in Codeignator 4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my current project is also based on this Codeignator 4.
Mm-hmm.
I told you about yesterday.
Mm. That West Bengal.
Huh. So Smarty,
Government.
Cake, these are all the frameworks. So framework and CMS are two different things. Okay, so we do not have framework
Mm-hmm.
in our syllabus. Okay, so I'm just
Mm-hmm.
skipping this thing. WordPress, Magento, Drupal, Joomla, these are all popular CMSs in PHP. And
Mm-hmm.
among them, WordPress is the easiest and mostly used CMS in the world. In the world,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 100 websites,
Mm-hmm.
now you can easily say that among 100 websites, at least 40 to 50% websites are developed in WordPress nowadays. Okay, it's
Mm-hmm.
so easy. You do not have to be a technical person to design a website in WordPress. It's just a matter of seconds. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
although for a longer period of time, if you want to create a complex website, complex web application, then obviously it is not, WordPress is not suitable. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
for a medium scale, for a small scale web application, WordPress is most easiest way. Okay,
Okay.
so in this context, I can show you something. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
to demonstrate what is a content management system is basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is all about content management system. Here there will be this section. Okay, means this WordPress. In WordPress, in Magento, Drupal, Joomla, one is, another is your open cart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are popular websites. So what you have to do, you have to install this thing, any one of
Mm-hmm.
the, if you
Mm-hmm.
take WordPress, you have to install this thing into your server.
Mm-hmm.
So you will get this part, just this part.
Mm-hmm.
So as you give input, as you put data here, so this thing will be generated. So the
Mm-hmm.
whole content of your main site is being managed by this application. That is the aim of content management system. Okay,
Okay.
tell me, is it okay for you up to this?
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. I got it. Everything.
Okay, just a minute.
Context.